Hello everybody, this is a video I've been wanting to make for some time, and seeing how I'm waiting for my melatonin to kick in, I thought this would be the perfect time to make it so that once I'm done with this I can go get some sleep and start bright-eyed and bushy-tailed 2 hours from now on a new video. But this is a video I've either scrapped because I felt the recording went on for too long, and with these I like to keep it as short as possible and be as clear, cut, and precise to the point as possible. And with that, when it doesn't meet my standards of OCD recording, I end up scrapping it. But the more sad truth is that I always sit on this recording and I listen back to it, and then I end up deleting it because I get this thought in my head that nobody really cares what I have to say. And it's not your guys' fault, it's how I grew up, how I was treated as a kid that really just instilled this. It's how the school systems treated me, it's how a lot of people treat me, that my opinions and all this didn't matter, that I was meant to just be this dancing monkey in a cage, and that people would just keep throwing peanuts at me as long as I kept the act up. And it doesn't bother me if you guys keep throwing peanuts my way, they are quite tasty, but if you could lace one of those peanuts with a cyanide capsule, I'd really appreciate it. But this is my thoughts on my channel, and the TLDR of this is that I see my channel as dead. I don't see the growth that you guys think I should have happening anytime soon. I don't think I'm worthy of praise or thinking that I'm a good content creator because I'm very lazy, and even if you find me funny, I'm sorry, I don't see myself that way. It's not me being humble in a sense, it's the fact that I really can't think positively about myself. But that is the TLDR of this. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Fine, the more heartfelt approach to all of this. I started this channel in 2015 when a friend of mine first introduced me to YouTube. When I first started watching YouTube videos, it was a different era. It truly was different than what it was now. And I've been making videos ever since 2018. Hard to think I'm going on 7 years of making videos. 7 or 8, Jesus Christ, nearing a decade at this point. And I'm proud of all the progress that I've made. But the biggest thing I saw throughout the entirety of YouTube was the changing of the landscape. A good example of this, or a good metaphor for this, is that it's Red Dead Redemption. You know, it's the dying of the West. You know, the East civilized world was manifest destining itself westward, and there was no room for the Wild West anymore. You know, it's like that tortoise from Rango says, there's no room for outlaws or gunslingers anymore. They're civilized now, they're businessmen. And that's what happened with YouTube. It stopped being about small content creators like me just creating stuff for the sake of creating it. And it became more about being fit into this algorithm that is being forced upon us. And I think that's the saddest thing about YouTube, is that everybody feels like we're under this oppressive overlord. And I think it's because so many people are passionate about making YouTube their job. Don't get me wrong, it's a cushy gig. You get to make videos all day, and, you know, people will take up time to watch them, and, you know, seeing people happy is a good payoff for that stuff. But for me, it was never about that. I first started watching YouTube videos when I was 15, and what drew me in was Markiplier, of all people. I know that sounds like I'm letting him down. No, I owe Mark everything. I started content because of him. You know, I broke out of my shell because of him. He was the spark to my powder keg that made me want to create so many videos. And it wasn't for the sake of money, fame, status. It was all about just being there for you guys. Being there like Mark was for me. Like Mark was for so many people. And it felt like in this modern age, we've lost so many people like that. And the people who are like that don't really blow up like they used to. And I love the words of encouragement you guys give me there, like, just keep your head on straight, you know, keep your nose to the grindstone, you're a great content creator, you're funny, you're creative, you're unique, you say controversial stuff that other people are afraid to say, and in a funny manner too. Like, it means a lot to me. Especially hearing that when all I was told growing up was how little I mattered, that everything I did wouldn't count or be accredited towards anything. So any support I get, I take it as like a second wind after being heavily pummeled down. But the problem with my channel is that I'm far too sporadic with my content. My friends and other people want me to continue making video essays. Other people want me to create Let's Plays. Other people want me to do live reactions of eating a ghost pepper while surfing on the highway. And let me tell you, no. That was a stupid joke. I don't know why that made me laugh. That's the melatonin kicking in. But I've always thought that as long as you're just making what you want, what's the harm? But the thing is that nowadays so many people are trying to make money off of YouTube that they just create slop content. And when you see a channel like me, people just look at it through the lens of desperation. They look at me as though I'm some struggling small YouTuber that's trying so desperately to make that subscriber number climb. And let me tell you, I'll be honest, I'll be 100% transparent with you. Seeing that number dip from time to time, it does hurt. Because it's not the fact that, oh, my channel is shrinking. No, it's the fact that I felt like I let you down in some way. That, you know, you had this image of me in the beginning, and as time went on, I lost that image. And the last thing I would want is to disappoint any of you. I realize that there are some moments that I'm just, the funniest guy on the planet, but that's just me being an idiot. And it's hard to really measure my own humor because I don't find myself funny. I just find myself stupid. And I think that's just what people need. They need to just let their hair down and stop being so anal about everything. Like, it's like everybody wants to be a cynical Rick Sanchez or young Sheldon, where it's like, oh, that's not funny because of X, Y, Z. You know what's also funny? How little attention your parents give you, buddy. Kudos. Honestly, they give more attention to reading the back of a beer bottle than they do your worthless, pathetic life. But I digress. I'm sorry. I deal with a lot of cynicistic nihilists. You know what really ruins a D&D campaign? A cynical nihilist. Every time, there's always somebody who wants to be like that Rick Sanchez, and it's so annoying. Like, you ever realize how far Rick and Morty has fallen off? Sorry, a bit of a diatribe on a whole nother thing. But I just want to create content that I want to create. I don't care if it's video essays, I don't care if it's me talking about other things or other people or making fun of something stupid, but it also just really eats at you sometime when people just think that you're clinging on to the fabric of life. And let me tell you, when it comes to the rope of life, and even though my hand will bleed, I refuse to concede. I refuse to give up. People always tell me, oh, you're miserable making videos, you're unhappy making videos. Yeah, I get unhappy with making videos sometimes, because you know what, it hurts. It hurts being told that, like, you're so great, and then nothing comes of it. I get that people will try to be nice and they try to keep you going and keep your spirits high, but it also feels like false self-validation where they can take pride in being like, I was here since the beginning. I remember when he had 10 subscribers and I was here for him. And it's like, cool, but do you really care about me? And I'm not saying that everybody's like that. I'm saying a very, very small portion of people who have supported me over the years. But I want it to just be known. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to who I am, I get that I'm not always going to be the funniest. You're not always going to like what I have to say. I try to keep politics and social issues out of this channel as much as possible. If somebody asks about them, I'm going to be brutally honest about it. But I try to just make a place for people to take a breather from reality. Maybe meet new people. Who knows? Just decide to cultivate together as a community to bring a little light in the darkness, because I know what it's like to just wander it for so long. But, as I said, the long and the short of this is that because of how sporadic my channel is, YouTube doesn't really know where to put me. And because of that, it's hard for my channel to grow. Does it stop me from making videos? No. Does it stop people from discovering my channel? No. And in no way, shape, or form am I putting this on you guys, where I want you to be like clipping me every 3 seconds of a video. No, enjoy the videos. Enjoy them to your heart's content. And as I said, I have no problem with people clipping me. whether it's with or without context, whether it's me saying something controversial or not. All I ask is that you credit me for it, and just like Freddie Mercury, don't make me boring even after I die. That's all I ask. If you guys want to spread me around, then I'm not going to stop you. But I'm not going to also put the guilt of this channel dying on you. That's on me. It's all on me. Never, ever is it on an audience for a channel failing. I see so many people that are like, oh, well, I made this video, but it didn't do too well. Who cares if it did well or not? I get that this is a job for you. But you should be, if you're not happy with the video, regardless of the view count that it got, do you really think you're enjoying this job? And I think that's always what has pushed me forward to make more videos on games and stuff, more niche games. And the fact that I've had developers come to me and ask me to play their games before they were launched and give my impressions and thoughts on where the games could do better. Well, that's just my dream come true. Because I'm passionate about video games. I'm passionate about a lot of things. Even though it sounds like, as one person put it years ago, that I am permanently pissed, I do want people to do better. I do want to see better games come out, whether from the indie scene or the AAA scene. I want a better internet than what is going on right now. And I get it. It sounds a lot like Hero Complex. It does. But I also know that brightening people's days is the very least I can do. And I think that's what keeps me going, is that there are people out there who truly do enjoy my videos. Enjoy them for the sloppy mess or the interesting piece of garbage that they are. Yeah, we're not some high-budget production. We're one guy, funnily enough. We are me. It's me who edits these videos. It's me who does the recordings and the script writing for all my video essays. And from that comes the crap that you see. Yeah, you might not see it as trash, but I still do. Because I feel that if I start praising it too much, it's gonna make my content measurable scale of value go down. Get what I mean? Like, if I keep praising my works as though, it's gold instead of crap, that I'm just gonna start huffing my own fumes on what is actually good content. And I feel like whenever you just keep chasing that peak, and when you retire, that's when you admit to yourself that you did all these years of good work. I'm not saying you can't praise yourself along the way, but just the matter of fact that it's that I feel if I am at this point, 2,300 subscribers, and I'm saying I'm creating the best content on the planet, and that I'm being misunderstood and suppressed by an algorithm, that it's going to blind me. It's going to blind me from writing better jokes. It's going to blind me from making better skits, or doing funny things, or saying things that I believe to be funny. And I know that sounds shocking. Yes, I do write some of my jokes ahead of time. It's just a matter of execution that is completely random. I do create my own jokes. I am very proud of that. But unfortunately, it all comes down to the execution of it. And sometimes it doesn't happen until very late in a video and nobody sees that joke. Which is fine. I'm still proud of the joke. It's all about, it's kind of like a decoder ring at the bottom of Fruit Loops. That's what it is. But I've taken it up enough. Yeah, that melatonin's kicking in. I'm losing brain function. But I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. And if you want to continue supporting me, I'm not going to beg for likes or subscribes. Just whenever you feel the world closing in on you, eating at you like a parasitic leech, just turn on one of my videos, put it on in the background, listen to me madly ramble about conspiracies, or Wendy's chili, or how Godzilla could probably get pregnant. That is something I talked about once. I don't think I made a recording of it, but I got very, very high on the melatonin, and it did not end well. But yeah, thank you all again for supporting me, and I will continue to try and support you all in the future as you have supported me. And I get that not all of you will be here for the full ride of my channel's existence. That's perfectly fine. I understand. But if you ever come back, there's no hard feelings. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. I'm gonna go pass out.